Welcome everyone to another Forex technical analysis. This is our first analysis for the week, and in this session we will be delving into the fascinating world of analyzing the currency and the commodity market using technical indicators and chart patterns to identify trading opportunities ahead of the new week. So get ready everyone to explore various tools and techniques that will help us make an informed decision during using historical based price movements. So on that note, let's dive right into the business. And for those who are joining us for the first time, you are highly welcome. And I'm so excited to have you guys around as we start the new week. And one thing I would like to say here is that the live session we're doing is a fallback of the weekly technical analysis which I did during the course of the weekend, and I've already shared the videos on all my public platforms. So this is going to be a fallout of that. So basically what we are going to be doing here is to analyze the 1 hour time frame. So if you do want to have a background knowledge of how we got to the point where we are on the 1 hour time frame, then it is very important that you watch the videos, and which is also going to be useful for you to make your own independent decision. So I already have the link to the videos right in the description box of this current video you are watching, and they are duly timestamped so you can easily navigate to whichever area of focus you want to view. So with that being said, here let's dive right into the business for today. And if you have been monitoring the current price movement on all the instruments we have been monitoring, you will see that there's been a lot of fluctuation, and price action is ranging in most of the pairs. And one of the things that I will say is the reason behind this is probably because of the high impact macroeconomic event that we are looking forward to on all the major economic dockets across the global economy. So we're having from the ECB, we're having from the Japanese economy, we're having from the US economy, and we also have some couple of handful of economic event coming in from the UK's economy too as well. And as a result of this, definitely majority and even participant in the market will be anticipating this, bringing off their liquidity off the market to ensure that they don't get trapped in any sudden price movement that will happen. So they want to settle down and wait to see how price action will be reacting in ahead of this event, and even during the event and after the event. So this is one thing we are also going to be taking into consideration while we review the current market structure from a technical standpoint. And the first thing we normally do, as you know, is that we want to check the economic calendar to see if we do have any high impact event to look out for the day. And when looking at the economic calendar for this week, you can see I talked about this in my videos during the course of the weekend, that we have a series of high impact events for this week. Hold on a second. I think I had done a mistake here. So let me recalibrate this economic calendar so that we can see what is looking like for this week. So you can see this week right here. So we are going to be focusing on economic dockets that will be affecting the pairs we are monitoring. That's the GBP, that's the pounds, the UK, the US dollar, that is the US, and then the Japanese yen, which is the Japan's economy. And from the look of things here, the first high impact event will not be coming until tomorrow, Tuesday, June 13th. And you can see we have the claimant count change coming from the pounds, from the from the UK's economy. And we also have the higher low unemployment rates, the same from the UK economy too as well. And then we have the consumer price index from the US economy. And we also have the Bank of England's governor is going to be having a speech tomorrow, Governor Bayliss. And obviously, everyone will be looking forward to what he's going to say, as it will give us an insight into the monetary policy decisions behind the scenes on that economy. So for today, we really do not have any high impact event. But one thing I normally do on Mondays like this is that let's see if we include the medium impact event, we can see something to work with for today. So let's include the medium impact event and see what we have. Okay. So from using the medium impact event, we have Bank of England's Mann speech. So Dr. Catherine Mann is a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of England. So she's going to be speaking today. That is in about that's roughly about 6 to 7 hours from now, which majority would want to also look forward to, as it might give us an hint into what the claim and count change is going to be like, what the monetary policy is going to be like for the UK economy. Then we also have the monthly budget statement coming in from the US economic docket. So this is released by the Financial Management Services, and it summarized the financial activities of the federal entities, disbursing officers, and the Federal Reserve Bank. So a positive budget statement and receipt exceeds budgetary outlay is seen as bullish. And from what we have here, the previous data came in at $176 billion, and we have a consensus projection speculating a minus $236 billion, which is on the negative side there. So we are going to be looking forward to see what the actual data is going to be like. Will it be just as expected, below expectation, or even beat all expectations here? And this one is coming in about 9 to 10 hours from now, which majority will also want to be looking forward to guide trading activity for today. And one thing I would also like to state here, that is the importance of the economic calendar. These fundamental factors often manifest on the chart in technical patterns and price movement. By monitoring this economic calendar, we can identify potential correlations between key economic releases and specific technical patterns on the chart. And obviously, when you look at the chart patterns or the price movement, it gives us an insight into the psychology of the participant in the market, which will also give us a clue of how to position ourselves ahead of this major event. So with that being said here, let's dive right into the business for today as usual. And the first commodity we are going to be taking this morning is going to be the US oil spot. Before I go into that, I can see Kwaku Anim rather. I saw your comment from the UK. Good morning to you, Kwaku. How are you doing today? And trust you had a wonderful weekend out there. Thank you for checking in. All right, so talking about the US oil commodity, which is the first instrument we are going to be monitoring for the week. So if you had been with me on my TradingView and Telegram platform, you would have seen an update which I shared this morning on this commodity. So let's quickly run through the update on that one. So this is my TradingView platform where I normally share updates as at when due whenever I start seeing new setups that will influence our trading decisions. So look at what we have here on the what I said here. I said the beginning of the week has witnessed a bearish start, with price action successfully breaking below the initial support level around the $69.30 zone. The question arises whether this breakdown will be sustained or if it will prove to be a false signal. So only time will provide the answer as we monitor for either a retest to confirm or the lower time frame, or a potential rebound above the support line. So this is what I was able to come up with this morning. And what I did here, let's go back into the live chat and see what is going on here. So I hope you have watched my video on the US oil spot during the course of the weekend. It's very important you watch it so that you can have a background knowledge of how we got to this point and why we are focusing on this particular area. So like I said earlier, I have the link in the description box of the scoring video, so try to watch them. And to make things easy, they are duly timestamped so that you can easily navigate to whatever area of focus you want to pay your attention to. So let's quickly talk about, for the sake of those who have not watched, let's quickly talk about the 4 hours time frame here, and let's see what we really saw during the course of the weekend and how we intended to project our ideas for the new week. So what we saw here at the during the course of the weekend was the simple range here. You can see from a technical standpoint that price action has been within a range since the beginning of the month of May, which further emphasized the level of indecision in this market. And during this time period, we have seen quite a lot of fundamental factors that could affect the US oil spot, from the Minister of Energy in Saudi Arabia making a speech to try to convince short sellers to put on a buy position. That was a couple of weeks ago, which never yielded anything. And then we saw the OPEC Plus meeting happen prior to the beginning of last week's trading session, where Saudi Arabia decided to cut oil production by 1 million barrels per day next month. And though we had a bullish gap at the beginning of last week, but that move did not really have a major impact on the market, as the market continued to spiral all the way to the downside. So let's see what really we're seeing here on the 4 hours time frame. So the first thing we observed here is that we had a supply zone around the $74.50 area, which, as you can see, all attempt by the buyers to break through this zone has been met with strong resistance from the sellers since the beginning of last month, hereby negating all bullish attempts. The same thing also happened, as we saw here, that the lowest point price action has been in the last couple of months is the $67.50 area, which has been a strong demand zone, of course. However, during the course of last week, we saw the situation here where price action was ranging in the last couple of weeks. And then another thing, I don't know what happened to this chart here. I saw... I think things have changed on I'm using the FX chart, and you can see there is a caution here. There is a data issue, so this does not reflect what I want to explain here. So let me go into another chart and let's see if I can quickly project a structure on the chart so that we can use it to guide our trading activity. So here we have, let me quickly run through this. So that is why I always like us to watch the videos that I share during the course of the weekend, so that we can have a background knowledge. This might take a lot of time anyways, but okay. So let me just go down into the 1 hour time frame. I would implore that you watch the my videos. It will take quite a lot of time for me to go through the analysis on this one. So I will just go into the 1 hour time frame and zoom into our center of focus for today. And by tomorrow, I should be able to find something to play with, walk around with you guys. So this is what has happened today, as in the first day of the week. And you can see our price action started the week at around the $70.30 area, and since then price action has been dropping to the downside. So price has been on a very strong bearish note as soon as the beginning of the week here, and then we had a support line around the $69.30 level, where we saw attempt by the buyers to push price to the upside, which wasn't successful, as we finally saw the breakdown of the support line here at the $69.30 level. And for me, this is a sign that we might be in for a strong bearish move. Sincerely, I missed out on this opportunity. And if you are taking advantage of that move, well done to you for being on standby to catch that one. But for those who had missed out just like me, what I'm going to be looking out for on this chart is to wait for a new structure to mature. And one of the structures I will be looking out for, based on this current structure, is a potential retest of that level that was broken to the downside. So I want to see something like price action coming back to retest the $69.30 level, where when I scale down into my lower time frame, the appearance of selling pressure below the structure will incite an opportunity to join the trend continuation to the downside. Then there is another important thing about this old structure we just identified here, and that is since Friday last week. We can see our price action appear to have respected a trend line. So we have lower highs, and when we connect the series of lower highs here, I have a bearish trend line which we suppose to be using to guide our trading activity, at least for the first half of this week. So what this simply means is that as long as price action remains below this trend line, we want to feel comfortable in our sell position, while we also look out for more opportunity to sell the US All Spot. So like I was saying earlier, if price action comes back to retest either the $69.30 or even the trend line at any point in time, we scale down immediately into our lower time frame. It could be your 5-minute, 10 or 15 minutes time frame. Look out for multiple retests of structure, which gives us signs that sellers are gradually gaining momentum. And in fact, we don't want to see that signs that buyers are getting stronger. We want to see sellers, then we want to be joining the bearish move to the downside. So that is one way we are going to be looking out for trading opportunities from this current market structure. Then another thing could happen here, just in case price action does not go back up to retest structure. We could see a situation where price will go into a consolidation phase, where price comes into a range within that area and then continues for a while before price action breaks down that structure to the downside, that is the support line, to give us a trend continuation pattern. And if this happens, then we want to be getting ready to sell below the breakdown of that structure. But trust me, I will be with you on both my TradingView and Telegram platform to give you update as at when due. So don't worry, we shall continue to monitor price action while we look out for more opportunity on this one. So let's remain patient, let's remain calm. Don't let us fall into that state of FOMO, fear of missing out, because there is a tendency to feel, oh, I've missed out on this move and price action is just going to the downside. No, don't let us get caught up in that kind of perspective. Let's remain patient and wait for new structures. That is, for those who had missed out on this one, let's remain patient and wait for new structures to mature before joining. And in fact, if we miss out on that move, it's okay. We still have quite a lot of opportunities in the financial market to take advantage of. So that is my view here on the US All Spot. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I can see Dominion Site Office. Good morning to you. Glad to have you around. Thank you for checking in. I see Dele in the comment section. Good morning, Dele. Thank you very much for checking on me. And it's been a pleasure having you guys around. So with that being said here, let's move right into the next instrument. I will be checking the comment section. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. So moving on into the next instrument. So the next instrument we are going to be looking at this morning is going to be the GBPUSD. And on the GBPUSD, we already have a buy position triggered right now. If you are with me on my TradingView and Telegram platform, you would have had a buy position triggered at this point. So what do I mean by that? So let's quickly run through what my commentary was this morning as regards to the GBPUSD. So earlier this morning, I shared an update. I think about how many minutes ago? I think about hold on a second. Let me refresh this page so that I can see. Okay, so we have about and how I go. I shared an update on the GBPUSD here, where let's see what we agreed upon here this morning. So I'm trying to load up my chart to see. Okay, so this is the GBPUSD instrument, and this was my first commentary at the beginning of the week, where I said here that similar to other currency pairs involving the US dollar, the GBPUSD price action remains confined within a range, highlighting the prevailing indecisiveness in the market at the start of the week. We will exercise patience and await a suitable opportunity to initiate a position. And if you look at the structure I have here, let me go into the live chat. So if you look at the structure I have here, we were able to spot a range where price action was initially began around that 1.2 5850 level. That was the highest point at the time I shared that commentary, and we saw our price action dropped into that support line here at the 1.25650 area, bringing price back up, giving us a beautiful range to work with for the week. So it's quite a simple flat channel we have here. Hold on a second, let me just highlight that out so that you can see. So it's quite a simple flat channel we have here, and you know how we do it. Whenever we have this kind of simple flat channel, we want to wait for price action to either break out of the resistance line to give us an opportunity to buy, or break down the support line to give us an opportunity to sell. And as you can see my arrows here. So we have in a buy stop order above the resistance line and the sell stop order below the support line for us to be part of any move. And as you can see here, price already triggered the buy stop order, triggering our buy position to push price to the upside. And if you had also had a buy stop order above the 1.259, which happens to be our key level for this week, well, that is kudos to you for being on standby to catch that one, as you will currently have 2 positions running. So for the first position right now, price action is currently running with about how many pips? About 12 pips in profit at this point. So let's see how price action will play out. So for me, I will say here that we want to be moving the first position stop loss to the entry point. Let's secure this position while we wait out and see how price action will be playing out above this resistance level going forward. So the situation is going to be looking like this. So we should be having our stop loss at the previous low here, which will be dovetailing to about 12 to 15 pips, which is not bad at all. And let's see how far this bullish momentum is going to go. Now, one question we might want to be asking right now is that where will the TP target be if this momentum persists? Well, to do that, we want to scale up into the 4 hours time frame. Here we should be able to get an insight into what is really going on here. So if you had watched my video on the GBPUSD, you will be familiar with this current structure on your screen. And as you can see, remember we identified our key level at around 1.25900, which happens to be the highest point price action has reached in the last couple of weeks, couple of months. And one thing we want to see here to emphasize the strength of the buyers here is for price action to break out, retest of that key level to continue to move to the upside for us to start thinking that a bullish momentum still remains solid in this market. However, if price action drops back below the key level, where continued selling pressure happens there, then there is a high chance that price could still drop back into the support line of that ascending channel. So let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see what this whole structure is looking like from an holistic point of view. So you can see what is happening here since the month of the last week of the month of May. You can see our price action has transitioned into an ascending channel, which further emphasizes the strength of the buyers in this market. So it's looking promising buying right now. Let's see how far this bullish momentum will go. Move your stop loss to your entry point, secure this buy position while we wait out and see how price action would react above the key level to decide if we are going to be adding more position to our existing trade or getting ready to join a bearish move to the downside. But trust me, I will be with you in the trade on my Trading View and Telegram platform to give you updates as at when due. So if you have any questions regarding the GBPUSD, feel free to let me know in the comment section. So I will be moving on to the next instrument, which we are going to be looking at today. And the next one we are going to be looking at is the USDJPY. So on the USDJPY this morning, this is what I was able to come up with, and I shared this on my public platforms. So let's run through the commentary on what we talked about on the USDJPY. So that is why I want to tell you guys I insist watching the videos I shared during the course of the weekend, as it will give you an idea into how we got to this point, so you'll not get caught up in any situation where you don't understand what is really going on here. So this is my commentary this morning. I said the price movement continued to stay within a range. That is the first thing we observed, provided us with valuable information about the level of uncertainty in the market at the beginning of the week. So we will exercise patience like we always do, and await a signal such as a breakout or breakdown of this range to gain further understanding into what price action wants to do. So we will discuss this topic in depth during our live session this morning, which we are already doing right now. So let's go back into the live chat and let's see what is really going on here. So looking at the structure here, remember we had our key level at the 139.650. As you can see this morning, you will see that every attempt by the buyers to break out of this key level has been met with strong resistance from the sellers, which is a clear sign that that area is still very strong for selling pressure. Let's look at that closely here so you can see what has happened. We saw the first attempt by the buyers here this morning. It was rejected by the sellers. We had a shooting star candle, and then we saw what happened again a couple of hours ago. We saw another attempt. That one also ended in the form of a shooting star candle, which is a sign that reveals the presence of sellers around that our key level situated at the 139.650. So with the situation we have here with a simple flat channel, you know how we do it whenever we spot this kind of simple flat channel within our market structure. We want to remain patient. It just shows us that there is a level of indecision in the market, and we want to wait for price action to either break out of the resistance line to give us an opportunity to buy, or break down of the support line to give us an opportunity to sell. And with the situation we have right here with our buy stop order sitting above the 139.650 and our sell stop order below the 139.270, it appears we have our sell stop order triggered at this point. So if you have your sell stop order triggered at this point, well, it's no point worrying at this point. You might be thinking you are in a loss right now, but it's okay. Let's keep calm. We're still within a range, and let's have our stop loss sitting somewhere close to the resistance level, which will be dovetailing to about 30 to 35 pips stop loss on that one, and let's see how far this bearish momentum will go. And if it so happens that price action continues to the downside, remember we also have another level around the 138.800, a very significant demand zone. Let me look at that on a 4 hours time frame so that we can be on the same page here. So this is the 4 hours time frame here, and remember we acknowledge our price action has been caught within an ascending channel since the beginning of last month, giving us a range to work with. And one thing we noticed in the last couple of days, I think the last second half of last week, we saw how price action broke down that support line of the ascending channel and did a couple of retests of that structure to give us a clue that the potential that sellers could come in is still very, very evident in the structure. And with the continued selling pressure around that key level and below the support line of the ascending channel, it hereby increases the potentials that sellers could still push price to the downside. But there is a caveat to this opportunity here, and that is the 138.800 level. And as you can see, this area has been a strong buying niche in this market in the last couple of weeks, so we need to be very, very careful. So if we are joining this bearish move, one thing we want to be doing is when price action moves significantly well in our favor, we want to be moving our stop losses to secure this position, as anything could still happen. We are sitting right on a strong demand zone, and buyers still have a potential to push price to the upside. So let's be very mindful. When price action moves significantly well, we move our stop losses to secure the current sell position. And if it so happens that price action continues in such a way that it breaks down, reaches the 138.800 area, then we are going to be in for another wave of bearish momentum, as this will confirm that the buy positions around that demand zone has been taken out by the sellers, and with some liquidity which would reflect on the chart as a retest of structure to incite a bearish move to the downside. So best of luck on this one. Let's see how this plays out in the next couple of hours. We already have a sell position triggered, so I will be giving you updates in the comment section on both my TradingView and Telegram platform on the USDJPY. So let's see how this plays out. Best of luck. Best of luck to me too as well. All right, everyone. So let's move on to the last pair for today. And the last pair we are going to be treating for today is the XAUUSD, of course. And XAUUSD has also been one of the instruments we have been monitoring for a very long time here. And so this is what I was able to come up with this morning on my public platform. So let's quickly run through the commentaries before we go into the live chat. So this is the XAUUSD on my TradingView platform. So we have, hold on a second, let's have this load up. All right, so so the commentary here says that currently the price movement is confined within a range, just like what it has been happening on all the USD pairs we've been monitoring since the beginning of the week, creating a flat channel. As a result, we will exercise patience like we always do and await a signal such as a breakout or breakdown of the range to make our next move. And this was the screenshot of my chart right here, where we can see our price action has been finding it difficult to break out of the structure. I'm giving us a level of indecision in this market, and you know how we do it. Let's go back into the live chat. Whenever we have a simple flat channel like this, you know how we do it. The next thing we want to be doing when we have a flat channel like this is to remain patient, waiting for a signal in the form of either a breakout of the resistance line for an opportunity to buy, or the breakdown of the support line to give us an opportunity to sell. And one thing interesting about this structure here is that the resistance line also is very, very close to our key level for the week, which is sitting exactly around the 1,960 level. And if you had a buy position above that structure as instructed on our public platforms, you would have had a buy position triggered at this point, and we will currently be running with about 40 pips in profit, which is not bad at all for the start of the week. But one thing here is that we don't want to get too carried away. This is not something significant that we can hold on to or call a profit at this point. So there's still a chance that price could still drop below this level, taking us out of this buy position. So as a result of that, we want to make sure that we move all stop losses to secure this current position, and let's see how price action will be playing out above this resistance level. So at this point, I am advising that we move our stop losses to our entry point. Let's secure this buy position while we wait out and see how price action will be reacting from this level. And there is one thing that could still happen around this area. Let me give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about. So since we already have a breakout of the structure, there's still a chance that price could come back to retest this level at any point in time. So if you had missed out on that buy position, let's see if the market will be presenting us with another opportunity to be part of this bullish move. So if we have price action come back to retest the structure, and in fact the retest of that structure will also share a confluence with this bearish trend line we identified on the 4 hours time frame. So watch my videos in the description box or below for the XAUUSD. You will understand how we got the trend line. So we're looking at price coming back. There's a tendency for price to come back into that area where the appearance of reversal patterns by impression our lower time frame will give us more confirmation that the bullish momentum is still very strong. And then if a bullish move starts from here, we will be very, very comfortable to stay in our buy position for this week. So that is my view here on the XAUUSD, on buying the XAUUSD. But if this buy position we have running right now turns out to be a false one, where price action drops back below the key level at the 1,960, then at this point we want to be considering selling the XAUUSD. But mind you, we are not going to be getting too excited at this juncture when price drops back below the key level, because it could still be a false breakdown actually. So we want to see confirmation that sellers are gradually gaining momentum, and this would reflect on our lower time frame. So we scale down into the lower time frame, look out for retest of structure, that is buyers finding it difficult to climb back above both the resistance line and the key level and the trend line, of course. Then at this point we want to start considering selling, then have a sell stop order below the $1,954.50 level to add more position to our existing trade. And remember that this bearish trend line that we have here will continue to guide that bearish momentum to the downside. So these are my views here on the XAUUSD. So let's see how price action will play out in the next couple of hours. And trust me, I will be with you in the comment section of both my trading view and Telegram platform to give you an update as at when due. So it has been a wonderful moment this morning. So let's see how price action will play. And remember that we have major event coming up later in the week. And this momentum we are seeing here could still turn out to be a choppy situation. So let's keep that in mind. Don't let us get too excited, as excitement is not what we are looking for when managing a trade. We want to be as patient and as cool and equanimous as possible. So I wish you best of luck today. And then one thing, I'm coming up with an idea where I want to remain live throughout. I had some couple of ideas from a couple of us in the house here, where I want to be sharing my live chats on a particular instrument. So I want to know which of this instrument you want to have a live chat running 24 hours a day. Is it the XAUUSD? Is it the USDJPY, the GBPUSD, or the USOilSPOT? Whichever one it is, I would like to see feedbacks in that regard, whichever one you want me to leave on the screen live while I'm off the charts, so that you can always see how I'm making my decision on my own account. So I would like to see some feedbacks in the comment section wherever it is, or probably a mail, whatever it is, or I could do a survey. I don't know how that works anyways, because I'm not really good in these technicalities of social media, but I'll try my best to see how things I could get a feedback as a result of that. So I will be giving you an update as at when due. So thank you very much, guys, for being with me this morning. I really appreciate that. So I'll be going off right now and hoping to see you in the comment section of both my trading view and Telegram platform as we continue to monitor price action. Do have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye. All right.